Hello learners, I'm teacher Sharon and this is Form 1 Mathematics. I'm taking you through the topic factors, and in this lesson we'll be looking at composite numbers. Any number that has more factors than just itself and 1, they are called composite numbers. They can be said to be natural numbers other than 1, which are not prime numbers, because we said that prime numbers have only 2 factors, that is 1 and itself. They can be expressed as a product of 2 or more prime factors, that is the composite numbers. If the same prime factor repeats itself several times while expressing a composite number in terms of its prime factors, then it can be written in power form. For example, if we have a prime factor a repeating itself 3 times, like a multiplied by a multiplied by a, then it can be written as a raised to 3 in power form. To express a number in terms of prime factors, it is best to take the numbers from the smallest and divide by each of them as many times as possible before going to the next prime number. For example, we are told to express the following numbers in terms of their prime factors, and the first one is 300. So we start with the smallest prime factor, which is 2. Remember, we said 1 is not a prime factor because it has only one factor, that is 1. So divide by 2, this will give us 150. We divide by 2, this gives us 75. And because 75 cannot be divided by 2, we go to the next prime factor, which can be divided by 75. So we have 3, which will give us 25. Again, 25 cannot be divided by 3, so we go to the next prime factor, which is 5, and this will give us 5. We divide by 5 and we have 1. So the prime factors of 300 will be 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5 again. So this can be written as 2 power 2 because it repeats itself twice, multiplied by 3, then multiplied by 5 power 2, again it repeats itself twice. So these are the factors of 300 because 300 is a composite number. Now part B, we are told to express 196 in terms of its prime factors. So we have 196, part B. Again, we start with the smallest prime factor, which is 2, and this gives us 98. Again, 2 will give us 49. 49 cannot be divided by 2, so we go to the next prime factor. 3 cannot be divided into 149, so we go to the next factor. Find that 5 also cannot be divided by 49, so we go to the next one, which is 7. So 7, when we divide 49 by 7, we get 7. And then we also divide by 7, will give us 1. So the prime factors of 196 will be 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 7 and by 7, which can be written as 2 power 2 multiplied by 7 power 2. Part C, we have 32. So 32, in terms of its prime factors, we start with the smallest prime factor, which is 2, gives us 16. Divide by 2 gives us 8. We divide by 2, and this gives us 4. By 2 we have 2. By 2 we have 1. So the prime factors of 32, we have 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 and multiplied by 2, which can be written as 2 power 5 in power form. We have D, which is 72. So part D, we have 72. To express it in terms of its prime factors, we start with the smallest prime factor, which is 2. This gives us 36. By 2 we have 18. By 2 we have 9. Because 9 cannot be divided by 2, we go to the next prime factor, which is 3. By 3 we get 3. By 3 we have 1. So this can be written as 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 3 by 3. So this gives us 2 power 3 multiplied by 3 power 2. And lastly, we have 105. So part E, we have 105. To express this in terms of its prime factors, we start with the smallest prime factor, and 2 cannot be divided into 105, so we start with 3, which will give us 3 5. 35 cannot be divided into 3, so we go to the next prime factor, which is 5. This gives us 7. So 7 gives us 1. So the factors of 105 are 3 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 7. That is the end of this lesson. Thank you for your time.